Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. Today I want to share with you 3 different ways that I use color palettes. They seem to be all the rage these days, and I'm hoping that it will be helpful to you and useful next time you try to choose colors for your coloring page. So meet me on the other side. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about color palettes. So these seem to be all the rage, super popular right now, and they're a fantastic tool to help inspire us with our color selection for our coloring pages. So I went out to Pinterest. It's not Thanksgiving yet, coming up sooner than I can believe actually, and I printed out some color palettes that I saw that I really liked. So if you go to Pinterest, you can find color palettes for everything. It's all out there. And then of course there's the very popular Sarah Renee Clark color palette boxes that you can get that a lot of people use. And I believe even on her blog, she's got a couple of freebies that you can download. But what is the big deal about color palettes? So color palettes can help us when we really don't want to think about what colors do I need to use on this page? How can I pick my colors? Blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of a way to shortcut that path a little bit for you and take the guesswork out of what colors would look nice together. So you can see here, most of these color palettes have 5 colors. What I want you to know is there are no rules. There's no right or wrong way to use color palettes. Think of these as a tool, not the gospel of the colors you have to use. So for instance, when you go to pick your colors, you might not have these exact shades in your coloring toolkit, right? So get as close as you can, or maybe you decide I want a more lemon colored yellow. Well, then swap it out. This is a starting point. It doesn't have to be this exact palette. Now there is a challenge in committing to this exact palette, and that's different. If that's something you enjoy, then certainly try to be as exact as you can, but I don't want people to walk away feeling bad because I didn't follow the exact palette. So I know on my Instagram and Facebook pages, I do a monthly challenge with my followers. And a lot of the time it's a color palette challenge, but I'm real generous with how people use their color palettes. I just say, hey, here, we're gonna do these colors this month. And some people nail it, some people get really close. It doesn't matter. It's just, did you enjoy coloring the page inspired by the palette? That's the question, yes or no. So I don't want you to ever feel like, you know, it's like binary, yes or no, you have to absolutely follow these colors. So what I wanted to do was show you guys an example of a limited color palette challenge that I did. So let me get my book and I'll be right back. Okay, so this was a color palette challenge in Mags Tam's group called Crazy for Prismacolor Combinations with Mags Tam on Facebook. I will leave a link in my description for y'all if you want to join. And she'll every now and then do a limited palette challenge where she actually puts down the Prismacolor names for you. And so here are the pencils that you are to use for her challenge. So I took this palette and that's how I did this page. So I will go through 3 techniques with you guys today and how to use these palettes. This is actually the 3rd technique that I call add neutrals and blend colors. And we'll get into that in just a minute, but I wanted to show you, I'm always talking in my videos about how the more you limit the colors that you have on your page, the more cohesive it's going to look. And you can see here that it was just, I'm so proud of this page and I absolutely love the way it turned out. And I feel like I was able to execute on it beautifully with these limited colors. And I will show you how to do that. But I just feel like, by being challenged with fewer colors on your page is going to look better probably than throwing the whole rainbow at it. Unless it's a rainbow page and you want to do that. That's totally fine. Nothing wrong with it. Anyway, so I wanted to share this as an example for you guys. So why don't we get started with the first way to use color palettes. So let me get my supplies and I'll be right back. So here is a color palette that I found that I just really loved. I thought the colors were so pretty, kind of muted, but really fun. So clearly it's a Christmas palette. I love Christmas, so I was drawn to it right away. So the first way to use a color palette is exactly as it is, just straight color with these 5 colors. So today I picked out And I'll put all these colors in the description. Lime Peel. And this, I'm pulling from the Prisma 150 set. Pink Rose, Yellow Ochre, Burnt Ochre, and I cheated a little bit here. And I'm using Crimson Lake. This is probably more of a Scarlet Lake, a little lighter, but I wanted something a little darker. So when you choose your color palette, excuse me, try to find a color palette that has a lot of color variety in it. If you don't feel like the colors as they exist have enough contrast for you, feel free to go darker on some of the colors, or, you know, so I'm staying in the spirit of the palette, but you can see here by choosing a different color, that's going to allow me a little more contrast. So what does that mean, straight color? So I picked out a page, excuse me, in the Flowerscapes in Paradise book. Oops, let me see if that is in focus. By Maggie Interios. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And I've got a page picked out here that I started. And you can see here, the bottom section is what I call, let me zoom in so you can see that. Just straight coloring. So I'm not doing any blending. I just took these 5 pencils and started coloring in any way I wanted to. Now I took a little creative license by making stripes here, but I didn't blend the stripes. I just took the pink and the red and made little stripes. So this is just straight coloring. Nothing wrong with that. That is the quickest and easiest way to use the 5-color palette. So let me, that's just real quick. So let me go and get my supplies together, and we'll go through the second way, which I call the tricolor combo. I will be right back. So what do I mean by tricolor combo? So you have your 5 colors, and what I like to do is create a 3-color blend for each of the 5 colors. So in this instance, with let me zoom in here with the lime peel here, I'm going to use these 3 colors. I'm going to start out with Chartreuse. I'm going to pick a light color, and then a medium color, which is the lime peel. That's the color I'd already picked out for this color palette. And then to anchor it with a darker color for like a low light, I've got Kelp green. This is one of my favorite green combos, by the way, with the Prisma set. So you can see here, what this will do is this is going to help trick up our page just a little bit. So we're still keeping up with the, the 3 color, sorry, we still have the same 5 colors to our palette in a way, but now we're just adding a little depth, and I'm just coloring this super fast for y'all. We're just adding a little depth and with highlights and lowlights to make that a little more, let me zoom out just a little bit, make that a little more usable on your page. So what I'm going to do is color these 3 combos real quick. I'll speed color those, and I have all of these color combos ready and listed on the description section in my video, so you can find those below. But this one in particular was, like I said, Chartreuse, lime peel, and kelp green. So I will speed color and be right back. So the blends are done, and what you'll see is this still keeps in the spirit of the color palette. So you can see here, like the lime peel is in the middle, the pink rose is in the middle, the yellow ochre is in the, so what I'm trying to show you is that for the first four, the main color is most of the blend itself, except for the Crimson Lake, which I anchored down here as the low light, or the shadow color. But you could see with these blends, that gives you a little more depth than if you just straight colored. So what does that look like? Let's get out our book, go back to our page, and here, let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see here, I pre-colored a few things with some of the blends. So we could take like the, oh, let's see here. Look, we could take this Chartreuse. Make sure that's in the camera. Lime peel. And we can add the Kelp here at the bottom and even add it around that petal from this flower. And maybe that will make it look like there's a little cast shadow there from that petal. But you can see how that looks a lot better than when we just straight colored down here, right? So it's a little different, but it gives you a little more, let me zoom out just a little bit. It gives you a little bit more depth, a little bit more. There we go, sorry guys. A little bit more depth, and you can see like with the straight coloring, it's just flat. And here you have a little more depth and dimension. So this is the red blend, the brown, the yellow, and the pink. And I love the way that pink flower works. I mean, this is fun too, doing the red and pink outline there. But I love, this is more my style right here. So that is the 5x3 color blends technique. So let me go into the third technique, or the third way you can use color palettes. So let me get my stuff and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the technique I call add neutrals and blend all the colors. So what does that mean? So this I got from Mags Tam and how she does her color palette challenges. And I absolutely love this. And so I wanted to share it with everybody. So I cannot take credit for this technique. This is all her. So Mags, thank you. When Mags does a color palette challenge, she'll give you the colors. Let me make sure that's in camera. And then she'll say you can add cream, white, and black to your page. So now what does that do? So now instead of just having 5 colors to play with, I've got 8. And boy, this is a difference maker for sure. And let me show you what I mean. So here what we're going to do is take these colors, and I like to mix them and blend them together to try to create new colors. So the real obvious one would be, okay, let me take the, I'm going to take the pink rose and the crimson, but I'm going to add a little cream to it. So make sure I'm in camera here. Let's see if I can bring my light over just a little bit. So we're going to take cream. We're going to take the pink rose. And then the Crimson Lake. And now look what you have. Here is one beautiful color combo that you can use on your page. So this is when you really kind of step out of the box and trick it up. So we could take, let's see, the cream. I love adding cream to my colors. It's just so pretty. And then we can add the lime peel, go real gentle, and then get darker. And then the burnt ochre. Because when you mix that green and brown, it's going to turn brown anyway. So why not go ahead and just blend them together? Why not indeed? So here we go. Get a blend there. And then you could fade that out with the cream up at the top. But you can see what I'm doing, right? And so now you could take the pink and the yellow ochre together. So we could start out with, so the white's not going to show up very well here, but white. And then we've got a little bit of the pink. And then we can add a little bit of the yellow ochre, which kind of, when you blend, you're going to get an orange in the middle, right? So maybe it's almost like a 4-color blend when you do that. So you can see how that really gets to be really pretty. So you get the gist of what I'm doing here. So it's all about, let's create new colors and new color combos. So we could take the cream, and then the pink rose again, and now I want to add burnt ochre at the bottom. I want to be dramatic, so we'll add the burnt ochre. Look at how pretty that is. So this is where now, by mixing your colors, you can literally, the sky's the limit. You have now opened this up to so much. There's so many different things you can do. I'm sitting here trying to think of what color I want to use next. So like if we wanted to use Crimson Lake, and then we could, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go Crimson Lake, and we're going to put black at the bottom. Just a little bit. And then we're going to put white up here. So that white's going to get real pinky when you start to blend it. But you can see that you now have something completely different that maybe you didn't even consider would be part of your color palette. Now you've got all of these three. See how nicely that blends now with the white? So you've got kind of a light, medium, and dark shade there. Okay, so you could just go on and on and on, but I just wanted to show you, doing this, you're going to create just a ton of new color combos, which really opens up your page to so much variety and so many different things that you could do. So now let's go back and let's look at this page in Daydreams. Let me zoom out. Okay, so yeah, I had 6 colors here. But again, I was able to add cream, ivory, and black. So you can see here, I've got cream, and I'm using Kelly green. And then I think I've got black for the, a little bit like for the outlines here. Here I've got sunburst yellow and orange and yellowed orange. But here, look at this, for the stamen, I'm using Kelly green and mixing that with aquamarine. Or here on the butterflies are my favorite. So I'm going from cream to aquamarine to cobalt turquoise. So you can see, you know, by adding the cream and then the white, here I get to add black to my page. It just really opened up this page and gave me so many more colors to work with and to choose from. Especially when it comes to like flowers and foliage and trying to make them look different and how do you treat them different. So that really helped a lot. So I just wanted to show you that example. So now let's try to apply this. So I'm going to go with, I really like this cream, pink rose, and Crimson Lake combo. So we'll try that on these flowers right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Make sure y'all can see that. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we're gonna go with the cream, and we'll take the pink rose. And then we'll apply the Crimson Lake just here at the very bottom of the petal. And I tell you what, this is my first time to color this book. I think I've had this book for about a year. And the paper, wow, it's really, I can't tell you how much I love this paper. It's very buttery, and these pencils just blend beautifully on this paper. It's just, I don't know if a paper can be creamy, but it kind of is. It's really wonderful. Okay, so now you can see here how pretty that flower petal looks using those 3 colors. So now let's go up here. Let's add another one. Do cream. More of the pink rose. Maybe bring up a little bit more of the Crimson Lake from the bottom. And it's just in the blending. This paper allows you to really blend this stuff beautifully. Just so easy to blend. You're not fighting the paper. It's just a joy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a joy. Okay, so let me do one more petal, and then we'll try a different combo somewhere else. All right, there we go. Okay, so now what we can do is we can try another combo. We can try, how about we try the red, black, and pink, and we try it on, oh, that's gonna be really, yeah, let's do it. Let's go crazy. Let's try it here. Okay, so I'm putting down the white, and then I've got my, oops, here we go. Yep. Crimson Lake. This is going to be a very dramatic flower, y'all. We're going to be sure blend that Crimson Lake down over the black to kind of get rid of any line we might have there. And this pencil's almost ready for a pencil holder, but not quite. Okay, so now I'm going to bring up a little bit of this red. Now I'm going to bring in the white. Really blend that. And look at how pretty that is. Okay, let's do another petal. Let's do this big guy right here. I'm not worried that the white still has red on the tip of that. We're going to use it again anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So then as we come up here, just very gently bringing that in up there. And then we've got the black down here again, where there might be shadow or just the flower is just darker right there. We're going to blend that Crimson Lake right over the black. Trying to go fast here. So I'm sort of compromising quality for speed just a little bit, but that's okay. Y'all get what I'm trying to do. So I'm coloring darker down here and trying to go a little lighter as I move up towards the top. Okay, so now let's bring in the white and really blend that around. And that white's allowing us to get more of a pink. We'll blend that a little bit more there. Okay, let me come back over here. Add just a little bit more there. Okay. All right, so there are 2 petals there. So now we can try cream, lime peel, and burnt ochre. And let's try that. Oh, let me see. Oops, let me move my book. Let's try that here on one of these guys. So I hope that you guys find these techniques to be easy, and maybe they'll help get you out of, get you out of your head when you're trying to work with these color palettes, because I think it's so easy to say, well, it says I have to use only red, yellow, and green. So that's all I'm going to put on the page. Well, you can, but you can do so much more with it if you really just play with these techniques and try to do different things. Okay, we get up here to the top. Now look at that, that's kind of pretty. What I'm gonna do is add just a little bit of black right there for a little shadow, a little cast shadow from that petal, which means I've got to add a little bit of black right here. And we'll just blend it in like that. Okay, so you can kind of see what we're doing now. One more color combo. We'll go the white, pink, and yellow. All right, and we will color this flower right here. And let me, okay. Trying to get some of that red off the tip of this one. So we went white, then pink. Here we go. And then yellow. Oh, sometimes it's hard to color around these little details. So if you guys have this book, let me know what you think of the paper. It's just, oh my gosh, I'm just like, as my friend Jen would say, I'm fangirling over this paper. Hi, Jen. Okay, that looks really cool, right? It almost looks like a sunrise on a petal. Let's do another one. Okay. More pink rose there. And you know, I think pink rose is underrated as a color. I tend to grab my Deco pink and my hot pink, which are much warmer, brighter pinks, but this one is muted and just really soft and beautiful, and I think I'm going to have to start using it more, showing it a little bit more love than what I have. Okay, we'll go ahead and do this petal while we're here. Oh wow, that's really pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to finish coloring these off camera, and then we can come back and compare the three styles to see what you think. So I will be right back. So what do you think? Here is the straight coloring technique number one. You take your 5 colors and you just color in anywhere you want. Actually through here, this part. This top part was doing the 3 color blend for each of the 5 colors. And then here is where we added the pink, white, and black and created all different kinds of blends, blending all the colors together. So which do you like the best? Which do you prefer? You might think of this as beginner, medium, advanced, but really they're all easy. Anybody can do any of these. I think the key is if you want to do the white, neutral, and black with the blending, try to find, like if we look at this color palette here, you don't have a lot of, oh, I've got that upside down, sorry. You don't have a lot of range of colors to work with. So your page is gonna look, well, kind of like what's back here. It's just very, the colors are almost all the same. So if you got a, you know, palette like this, where you have, you know, a variety of color more than this, you're gonna have more to work with when it comes to creating your blends. Here's another example where you might have, I guess I was on the Christmas palettes, a little more range. This Thanksgiving one here, you know, you've got yellow, green, orange, things like that. Or this last one, which is a Christmas stocking, but again, you've got yellow, green, pink. You have a big variety. So that will give you the most successful template for doing this blend where you add just the neutrals and blend all the colors. So I hope that you found this to be helpful. I hope that this has sort of demystified these color palettes for you, and you don't feel like you have to stick to just only those 5 colors. And yeah, I think that's it. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and please like. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you consider it. It helps out my little channel to get seen by new people on YouTube. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing what you think about this. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.